Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of our Langrisser's mobile series. We have already completed the timeless trial of this week and I would like to show you how I handle the Valk 65 difficulty boss. And I have to give props to Nitro for having posted this strategy which he saw somewhere else because it is just really fun to watch and to do. So the first thing that we need to know is that for Valkyrie 65, one specific unit has to be in a very specific state. And that is actually Roga, who has to be on his Lancer form and has to have equipped one speed boot. So we're gonna steal this speed boot from somewhere else. And while it's irrelevant what type of equipment this person has, I like to give them something worthwhile. Of course, my armor pieces are not ready to be shared with others yet, but that should be enough for him, because he has one very specific job to do. And that is, of course, changing Valk back to Lance, but in a very specific way. So, we bring Yaris over here, we bring Leon, we bring Bernie, and we swap. There we go. Okay, so the skills on Roga do not really matter. All we want is to keep him 2 tiles away and attacking, and because it's a ranged attack, Valkyrie should take 0 damage. Bernie, obviously, we want for the faction buff and the hegemony, whatever that's called. We are going to give Sword Soul and actually no, we're gonna give him Sun Slash and we're gonna give Leon Hooves. Okay, so Thierry is only here to cast Miracle once and then probably die, as we only will have limited spots to handle this. And everyone else should be ready to damage the enemy. We are not using mask mates because the self-inflicted damage is currently too high for me. I really have to level up those units before I can use them openly. And everyone else should be ready to go. So the good thing about this tactic, other than being very easy to do, is that it is simpler than others. You don't have to make rotation be absolutely insane, which I almost got down with 5 attackers, but some of them were too low to inflict enough damage to Valk. This strategy, however, has worked for me every time that I've used it. That's why I want to share it with you. So, on the first transformation, we want to use Roar, because it will lower the attack power of Valkyrie and thus save us from some damage. In this case, only units die, which means that on the AoE explosion, Elwin will get us the same damage as he would have gotten before. I forgot to do something though, so I'm going to change my strategy a little bit and give Leon an attack blessing on turn 1. Now, you would think if Valkyrie were to attack Elwin, he would obviously die from the AoE after it, and you're absolutely correct. What's gonna happen here is that I'm going to give Tiaris the opportunity to tank, and then the AoE explosion irrelevantly would have killed her, because her health is not really up to par. So we are counting on that fact. I start by using Hooves so that as much damage is dealt on turn 1, and then I can use it later when the cooldown is back up. And then we stand on the correct spot. And for the final turn, we use Roga's skill, even though it makes no difference, just 40. And the reason why he can do this is because Sky Archers can be equipped on him and they have 2 range. So Tiaris takes the hit, Divine Judgment hit, and the important units survive. The reason why we still have to do the tactic this way and not let Tiaris survive is because our Elwin is very low in stars, which is something I kinda regret. And I should have focused this unit because he's super important for the Eternal Temple. Kinda wish I knew that. But now you know. Okay, so the rotation begins. This is just the same as any other tactic. You always attack in the correct order. Insisting with every ability so that we make maximum use of the attack blessing. And the cool thing about this tactic in particular is that you still get 3 attacks in, even though this one deals no damage, for the simple reason that the counter attack from swords is also a strong type. So you basically get 2 attack with all your sword attackers, which is pretty decent. Now, as long as these 3 main people can survive an AoE, actually just the 2 sword people, you will be perfectly fine. The reason I picked Sun Slash instead of Sword Soul is because I was not going to use Sword Soul first, and if I had used Sword Soul only on the second rotation, it would have taken too long and the cooldown would not be up by the time we want to use it again. So we just go through the motions. We hope that the damage is enough. Maybe with a little bit of lucky crits. But it's already looking somewhat decent. Another attack. Another charge. Run away. I'm pretty sure if my Roga was actually fully equipped and fully geared and fully leveled, the damage he supplements could help. But he's not the key member of this party. Sadly, we have to do 1 attack with Elwyn without the faction buff. But after that, we move Bernie back and we buff everyone. We get another smash in. We go back. And we continue. Okay. On we go. We're getting close to the rock falling effect, but I think maybe we can get this done. Okay, so the rocks are falling. And we are extremely close to our target. And there are certain things that we can take to our advantage in this turn. The first one is that we only need the kill, which means we have to use all our tools available. The second is that we don't expect Bernie to live, so we can attack for even the slightest amount of damage. 5000 is fine. And the last one and the best one is Leon can move all 5 turns, all 5 spots, and then use 1000 moves, which may lead to the kill directly. There we go. So the boss is dead. And we're very happy we have never used Roga in his proper classes. Alright. I'll show you the power of my current units to see if this is manageable by you as well. Leon has currently 5300, 400 if you want. Mainly due to these 2 SSR items, and my angels are at maximum level. And his bonds, of course, accompany. My Elwyn, as I mentioned, is way behind. Even though he's almost fully equipped, this INS armor could be 50 and it will make a difference. My star is extremely low, And I have actually taken different skills instead of maxing all the classes. And finally, the soldiers that I'm using are level 7, I believe, which is something that could be improved. And it seems I haven't even finished the bonds. Onto Bernhard himself. He's currently using a full set of SR. It's not even really worth mentioning because there's nothing special out of it. The Assault Ring and the Mithril Sword are kinda necessary to offer any type of damage. And his soldiers are actually also level 7, so while decent, it's still not the best. Okay, finally we go looking for Roga. There we go. His power is irrelevant. We're also gonna remove his gear so that it can be returned to the proper owners. As you see, I chose to go for the Spear Mastery class, and everything else would require a runestone that I will never use on Roga. What's important is to unlock the Sky Archers so that you are able to use them. Okay. Alright, so finally there was also Tiaris, who at 5000 health could not even survive it, even though she was buffed with everything that could help, like Miracle. But maybe one day she'll be able to. For example, if I finish upgrading her items, because they're still very lacking. Alright, so that was Valkyrie 65. Thank you all very much and see you next time.